Now, a diagnostic test or a cure for ME is still a long way off, but the world's largest genetic study of patients is celebrating a breakthrough. A team at the University of Edinburgh believe they found a genetic link in the DNA of people with ME compared to people without it. Researchers hope the findings will boost validity and credibility for patients and help rebuff stigma and scepticism around the condition. Our Scotland correspondent, Catherine Sampson, was given first access to the study's results.
We're off to see Sarah, and Sarah's a DecodeME participant, and we're going to discuss the DecodeME results.
For 5 years, Professor Chris Ponting has been leading the world's largest genetic study into ME. His team analysed the DNA of more than 15,500 people across the UK.
Come on in.
Thank you very much. I'll follow you.
Like Sarah, who lives near the Scottish border. She was a teacher before being diagnosed with moderate ME 12 years ago.
Lovely house.
Simple tasks can now trigger days of suffering. She says her chair has become the centre of her world.
It's like my body's in distress and it's screaming at me. It's not exactly pain, it's sort of deeper than pain. And and I just have to sit down.
It's estimated that around 400,000 people in the UK suffer from ME, but many feel the disease is misunderstood by friends, family and the healthcare profession. Something Chris is hoping the initial results of this study can change.
So here we go.
Yeah, right.
So what we have found are 8 places in people with ME's DNA that on average are different. That is our first step. Our first step is to demonstrate that there's a biological, organic difference. In fact, 8 differences, at least, people with ME and others. And now that we have narrowed down to these very small slices of our DNA, we can then tell everyone in the scientific community it is up to their job, up to them now to find out what has gone wrong for so many people.
But you have ascertained that it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. And what I would love is for anyone who doesn't think it's a thing, that this is not an organic illness, for them to have in front of them the evidence that you have just told me it is a thing.
And that was my motivation for doing it when I first saw it, to like legitimize this thing that I have, to validate it and give it a name. It does exist. It now exists on my DNA. It's not in here, and it's not. I've not made it up, and I'm not imagining it. It's real. It's in my body, isn't it?
Last year, Channel 4 News reported on the case of Maeve Boothby O'Neill. A coroner ruled she died at the age of 27 from malnutrition caused by severe ME. Her story highlighted a need for better support and treatment options within the NHS.
There are some fantastic doctors and clinicians out there, but we still hear from people where their doctor doesn't believe that they have a real, in inverted commas, illness, that it's a result of deconditioning or something else. So from the minute we've published these results, people can go into the doctor's surgery and say, here are, genetic causes for the illness that I have. Now, how are you going to support me?
The DecodeME team at the University of Edinburgh are celebrating a breakthrough, but we are still a long way from any diagnostic test or cure. 80%
or more of people with ME are female. And as a female-dominant disease, it has not been A, believed, and B, well-funded to the level that male-dominant diseases have been. For me, it's hugely exciting. It is significant in so many ways. At the personal level for people with ME, they are telling me this is a breakthrough for them. But then scientifically, this lights the path for the future science that will be done for people with ME. It is not the end of what is needed. It is the end of the beginning of what is needed.
20 years ago, when it was yuppie flu, we've gone from that to where we are now. So in 20 years' time, you know, you'd like to think, wouldn't you, that there's going to be a diagnosis, there's going to be treatment, there's going to be a pathway, there's going to be, yeah. So that's what I've got from today. It's all actually going on out there. So don't feel hopeless. I'm telling that to myself. There may be hope.
Well, earlier I spoke to the Liberal Democrat MP Tessa Munt. She's campaigned on behalf of sufferers of ME for greater government support. And I asked for her reaction to what the Edinburgh academics are saying they've found.
The results of this are absolutely fantastic, because I know from all the people I've met who are suffering with ME or ME-like symptoms that this is going to be the best news, because it means that they haven't been making it up for decades. There's loads of people who think that people are lazy, or that they've got, what did they call it? They used to call it yuppie flu. What it really means, Christian, is that they're now, to me, there seems to be a clear pathway. I need to go back to Wes Streeting and to Ashley Dalton, because they've produced a bit of a flop, I think, with their final delivery plan for ME, which they released on the very last day of Parliament, and that was late and late and late. There was no money attached to that, really. They offered minor grants of £200,000. What we're looking for is really proper funding so that people can have a clear diagnosis. They can be tested for this genetic variation that's been identified by the scientists.
Well, that's not possible yet, is it? We've got to be a bit careful not to get ahead of ourselves.
No, that's right, but that's where
there is no test available, and this is a preprint.
No,
it hasn't been peer reviewed.
That's right. But what we have got is clear medical evidence that there is this group of 8 genes, and that they are unique to people who are suffering with ME and possibly with those with ME-like symptoms. There clearly is a pattern in the genetic code, and it's down to the scientists and the researchers to actually pick this up and run with it. It's a brilliant story, what's happened today. This has been the efforts of many, many people who've taken part in this research, and we've got honourable people who've done really decent work to make sure that this group of people is treated better in the future. They've had decades, Christian, decades of being treated very poorly.
So what do you want from Wes Streeting now?
We now know this is an illness, it is a recognisable condition, and what Wes Streeting and Ashley Dalton can do is make sure that there is funding for research to enable us to make sure that there's a diagnostic path, so that then we can go to treatment, and that this huge number of people, it's 1.35 million people, according to the 2 largest ME charities, they know that those people are very often lying in dark rooms. They can't live their lives. What they want to do is have their lives back and make sure that they can go to work and that they can live a normal life again. And that has to be a priority for this government, which is forever banging on about how people need to work to be valued. These are people who are desperate to be able to go back to work and live a normal life.
I mean, how do you think doctors should be told they should approach their patients now?
I suspect that it might be enlightening for a number of our doctors to discover that there is such a thing and that there is progress, and the work that Chris Ponting has done with the other scientists who've been working with him, that this is not a made-up disease. That's the most important thing. People need recognition, because then, you know, there are a number of things that can happen in the future, but at least if people are not dismissed or treated like idiots, we will be a lot further forward.
Tessa Munt, thank you very much.
Thank you, Krishna.